I'm Dr. Fakiraveri, and this is Secondary Resources for Drug Information. The first learning objective is distinguish between PubMed Central, MEDLINE, and PubMed. MEDLINE is the online citation database that PubMed uses and is primarily intended for healthcare professionals. You can directly search MEDLINE through PubMed. And what's significant about it is that you can actually use medical subject headings or MESH vocabulary to look for articles. I will explain MESH more in the next learning objective. Now, PubMed itself is a free database that is provided by the National Library of Medicine. It is a secondary resource and it's an indexing service. What that means is that it's a database of citations. It does not have the full articles, it only has the citations and perhaps the abstracts of those articles. In other words, it points to where the actual articles are so that you can find primary literature efficiently. What you find on PubMed includes both MEDLINE and non-MEDLINE citations. Both MEDLINE and non-MEDLINE citations include article title, authors, abstract, and citation information. However, MEDLINE specifically also has MESH keywords. Every article indexed on PubMed has its own PubMed ID or PM ID, and you can in fact search for articles using PubMed ID as well to locate them. And lastly, PubMed Central, which is different from PubMed, is a free archive for full text articles. And just like every article on PubMed comes with a PubMed ID, every article on PubMed Central comes with a PubMed Central ID. And you can also use the PubMed Central ID or PMC ID to locate articles as well. Let's take a look at PubMed. When you go to the PubMed website, you will immediately be welcomed by a search box. So let's say you want to search for pancreatitis. All you have to do is type in the search box and click enter, and it will give you the search results. It will immediately tell you how many results it was able to find, which you can see in this case, too many results. And then you have basically a few filters on the left hand side. So it will remember your filters, so it's a good idea to basically reset all filters when you start a new search, just to make sure that it's not limiting any of the findings. And the other thing that you need to make sure you are aware of is the display options on the right hand side. So if you click display options, you can see that the format is right now is showing you the summary for each citation. So for citation number 1, it's basically showing you the title and then the authors, the actual citation, followed by PubMed ID, the type of article, and then a quick summary. And then it goes to the next citation. So if you don't want the summary, you can actually change this to either include the abstract. So if I click on abstract, it will actually, for each citation, it will have the full abstract if available. And then we will go to the next citation. You can also switch this to just PubMed, which will actually have very advanced information in what's actually happening on the website. I don't recommend this unless you're looking for a very specific information. I'm going to go back. And then the other thing that's nice in display option is that you can actually choose how many citations you want to see per page. So I usually set this to 200 so you don't have to keep clicking next. So it will load. Actually, it's taking a long time because of loading all the abstracts. You have to wait for the whole page to load before you can click on display option, or else it's not going to do anything. I'm going to switch this back to summary. Because on summary, it actually loads faster. So for an initial search, it's actually more efficient to have this on summary. And then you want to make sure that you sort in a way that it's ideal for you. So typically I like to have most recent, especially if you keep repeating the same search and you want to see what new articles have emerged. So it will always show you the latest publication first. I'm actually going to change this back to 10 citations per page. And then if you scroll down, you go to the very bottom of the page, so it will only show 10 citations, and then you can click on show more if you wanted to load more. So it's basically going to page 2 now. So it should go to number 20, and then you can click on show more. It will actually go to page 3 and so forth. Now, I'm going to just click on one of these citations. When you click on the citation, it will go and show you more information about that citation. So it has the actual citation, it has the DOI, it has the title, it has the name of the authors. These author names are actually interactive, so if you click on it, it will show other publications by those authors. It has, of course, the PubMed ID, and then it also has the abstract, typically in English if available. Sometimes you will see that they are only available in a foreign language. When so, it will actually have the title in brackets just to show you that the English abstract is not available. And also, abstract for every article is not available. Most articles have the abstract available on PubMed, but not all. And then if you wanted to actually get this article, if there is a PDF available, you will see an indication here that you can click on. In this case, this one is not available, so you would have to get it through the LLU library. So you would have to follow, you would have to click on this icon and then follow instructions. So it will either get you the article through the library, or if it's not available, you would have to request a interlibrary loan. Now, if you wanted to refer someone to this article and they were having a hard time finding this, what you can do is to share the PubMed ID with them. And then when they search PubMed with this ID, it will bring them exactly to this page. Alternatively, you can search the DOI number with them. The DOI is the Digital Object Identification Number, which is universal. It will work in PubMed and also outside of PubMed. So if you put this in a search engine, it should bring you to the actual article. So when you click it, it will take you to the publisher. So typically the PDF will not be available on the publisher's website. In this case, it actually did not find the actual article. This could be due to different reasons. That's why PubMed ID is actually the best way to actually keep track of articles. Now, since only you see the PubMed ID here and not PubMed Central ID, that's how you know that this article is not available on PubMed Central. Now, let's go back to the original search results. As you scroll down, you will see that occasionally you will come across an article that actually says PubMed, free PubMed Central article. So like this one, number 16. So that's how you know that, well, first of all, this article is indexed in PubMed, so it has a PubMed ID, but it's also available, the full text is also available through PubMed Central, which is free. So when you click this, now we are still in PubMed, so you see the PubMed ID, but it also has a PubMed Central ID, which means that you can actually access this full text through PubMed Central. And the beauty of PubMed Central is that everything on PubMed Central is free, so you don't really need a subscription to any journal. So I'm going to click the PubMed Central, so it will take you outside of PubMed into PubMed Central website, which is pretty similar, but the only difference here is that now you have access to the full article. So when you click PDF, it actually shows you the full article. So this article was recently published, so it's still in pre-print, so they haven't fixed the actual layout of the article, but the content is available right now. So it's pre-proof, but you have access to the content. Now this happens to be like this because we sorted by publication date, so it actually showed us the recent article. So this was literally published August 19th, and today is August 25th. Now, if you click on the DOI on this article, it will take you to the publisher's website. And in this case, because this is on PubMed Central, it means that this article is freely available. So you will actually find the same thing on the publisher's website. Now, with this article, it is available on PubMed because we saw PubMed ID, and it is available on PubMed Central because of PubMed Central ID. However, it is a non-MEDLINE article. So it is not a MEDLINE article, and the reason I know that is because when you look at the right-hand side, it doesn't show me any mesh terms. I will show you a MEDLINE article, and what you will find is that it will actually have a section on the right-hand side with mesh terms. Let's take a look. Change the display options to, instead of most recent, to best match. And I'm going to scroll down. This one, number 5, is actually published in 2016 and looks like it's a free PubMed Central article. I'm going to click on this. So with this one, you can see PubMed ID and PubMed Central ID and DOI just like before. And of course, you could get the PDF if you click on this PubMed Central over here. So I'm going to click on this, and it will take you to the PubMed Central. And then, so sometimes they may have a different format, but regardless, the full text is available. So if you click on EPUB, you can download the article. So in this case, it's not PDF, but the entire full text is available. So you could actually print this. So it may not look nice, but the full text is here. So I'm going to close this, go back to the PubMed. So you will notice one thing special about this article, and is that on the right hand side, you will actually see mesh terms. So if you click mesh terms, it will bring you down to the bottom of the page, and it will actually show you mesh terms. So what that means is that this article is a MEDLINE article, and it has been tagged to these mesh terms. Now with these mesh terms, you will see that some of them have an asterisk next to them. What that means is that the ones with the asterisk are major mesh terms. And then you will see that some of them have a slash. So what that means is as the term before the slash is a major heading, and then, or I should say it's a heading, and then the one following it is a subheading. So basically pathology, physiopathology, they all kind of go under the heading pancreas. I will explain what those mean shortly. Now let's go back to the main page results. Now so far we have been searching PubMed, and from PubMed we were able to find MEDLINE and non-MEDLINE articles. We also found PubMed Central articles. Now another way to find PubMed Central articles is if you go to the home page of PubMed. If you scroll down, you will actually find a link to PubMed Central. So if you click on PubMed Central, then it will take you to the legacy page for PubMed Central, where instead of searching PubMed, you can actually search PubMed Central. So that way, the only results that you get is from PubMed Central. So if I type pancreatitis here, you will see you have fewer results, but all of these are PubMed Central. So they will all have PubMed Central ID. Now the reason this is important is that because everything that's listed here is available, the full text is available for free. So let's go to the first one, for example, and you can see that you can click on the PDF. So you will get the PDF of this for free. I'm going to go back, and then of course this is we started searching from PubMed Central. Now if you want to go to the PubMed, then you can click on PubMed ID, and it will take you back to PubMed and show you the citation. So I'm going to go back. So that's one way you can click on the PubMed ID. And of course, the full text is also available on the site, on the website, if you didn't want a PDF. I can also copy the PubMed ID. So let's say if I just copy this, and then if I go to PubMed and search I should get the exact same article. So it will take me to that article, and then I would have access to PubMed Central PDF. And then from here, of course, you can see that this article has mesh terms, so it is a MEDLINE article.